So I screwed up. I made a major mistake with this channel, and now I've got to be the one to fix it. Let's talk about it. When I started this channel, I had many different ideas of what it was going to be, what my plans were for being a YouTuber and a content creator and an influencer, even though I hate that fucking word. I had a lot of ideas behind it. I had a lot of ideas behind the idea of creating content. I originally wanted to be a Let's Player or a first impressionist or whatever, you know, and unfortunately that side of YouTube has kind of died. To be brutally honest, the idea of doing Let's Play on YouTube, unless you're a major YouTuber, someone big, is kind of a dead idea because, again, the market is overly saturated. Then I had a video pop off, and it was a video that I never expected to basically go that way, and that was my multiplayer madness of Halo the Master Chief Collection, a game that had just gotten updated after a terrible launch and unfortunately continued to be terrible, but I was passionate about Halo, as I still am today, but not nearly as much. I made that video, and it was the first video of mine to blow up. It went and did pretty damn good for a video that I had just put together out of nowhere. I was excited about Halo, I was passionate about it, and I wanted to share that, and people seemed deprived. They wanted Halo content, they wanted Master Chief Collection content, and I provided that. But as years went on, things kind of went downhill. Not with me, but with this whole franchise in particular, including Halo 5 Guardians. That launch did poorly whenever it came to fan reception and basically continued to go down that way as content was lacking. It was lacking features that should be there. It was lacking game modes and maps and so on. And it was honestly the first game where I stepped back and I said, this is not good. What the hell? And I basically gained a following based off of my passion for Halo, which I'm still passionate about this franchise. But what I'm starting to realize is that with the lack of content, the lack of commitment from 343 Industries, the lack of them actually wanting to put together a complete game, I don't want to stick around and play the waiting game. Now, am I saying that I'm not going to cover Halo anymore? No, but I definitely have thought of changing things up as of recent, and this is got to be something I've got to do now. And if you're a content creator who wants advice by content creators for content creators, I recommend you check out The Stream Room. This is a podcast that got started by LJ, Reaps, and Nicktacular. I submitted a question on their podcast a while back, and this is the advice they gave me.
And this is a really interesting one from GamerJlee, and I will say we have talked about this on the podcast a decent amount. In our early one, we talked about Ioana and a few other people who do niche versus variety. But they say, hey guys, due to Halo Infinite's hard decline and unfinished state, which 100%, if anyone hasn't played Halo Infinite, holy shit, did they release a half-baked game? I've recently decided to move away from Halo content on both Twitch and YouTube. The problem is I'm not sure what steps to take. Should I take to pivot, especially on YouTube?
What I would say, obviously, is I know that you want to pivot away from Halo Infinite, but it seems that your wheelhouse at the moment is first-person shooters. So I would say if you are going to pivot away from Halo Infinite, I would keep it in that world of FPS. I'd keep it with your views and opinions because it seems like you've got a real passion for it and a real kind of drive, obviously on your videos and streams and everything like that. I know that there's a lot of Warzone out there. I understand that, but there's news of upcoming games, and I would love to see your takes on it. The work that you're putting in, it will pay off if you keep going. So seriously, don't feel down about a game because as LJ's just talked about, sometimes the game makes you drop viewers or views in general because there isn't that want for it anymore, or, you know, there's problems with it. You can't put that on yourself. So the fact that you're taking ownership of the fact that it is declining and it's not the best for your channel right now is the first step to take. And obviously just go down that FPS route would be my initial advice.
And they suggested that I don't niche down so deep with just Halo, but a genre. Because I am passionate about first-person shooters. I am passionate about the FPS genre. There is a lot of great FPS games out there, but unfortunately the only ones that get the attention are the big AAAs. Battlefield 2042, failure. Call of Duty Vanguard, failure. Halo Infinite, unfortunately, failure. but it was the one game out of those 3 that got the most attention and honestly was pushed as a great game, even though it truly wasn't. It was just as bad as the rest. Yet I see a lot of other games out there that are much better, experiences when it comes to FPS games, including this one right here, Turbo Overkill. An insane boomer shooter that was published by the original publishers of Doom, Wolfenstein, Commander Keen, and Duke Nukem. This is a game that honestly, I feel like deserves a lot more attention. And guess what? It's gonna get that attention on my channel because I'm going to cover this game in an upcoming video, as I will many other things, including another game I'm passionate about, Apex Legends, a game that is now about to get another season with a brand new legend, brand new map. I want to cover the things that people want to see, but I'm not going to sit here and only cover Halo when it makes myself miserable and other people in my community miserable. I had to sit down with my community a few nights ago, and some of my most closest confidants, the people that I go to talk about things, said, I don't want to hear about Halo. I don't care. It's depressing. And I said, okay, well, maybe we'll focus on some Halo MCC mod stuff. And they even said, I don't want to even hear about classic Halo. I genuinely don't care. And that hurt to hear. That stung because Halo is something that all of us have been passionate about for years, but due to 343's incompetence, and I'm sorry, I gotta call it how I see it, it's incompetence, their passion for this game, for this franchise, has dwindled even worse than my own. Again, at the end of the day, this is something that I need to do. First-person shooters are something that I'm good at, I enjoy, and I know my audience enjoys. And if I can introduce someone to a game that they never heard about, or I think that they would have fun with, I think I did a damn good job. But it doesn't just have to be a game. You hear about a new product or a new peripheral that you want to have me cover that honestly you've been interested in, let me know down in the comment section down below. That's what they're for, because I'm going to need as many suggestions as possible. I'm going to need as much feedback as possible, and I want to hear from you guys. This is going to be a very important video to get your feedback on, and I am open to all of it. I will be replying to every comment because I want to continue to have this conversation down below. But I definitely don't think that this is going to be my only project, as I also have a second channel, GamerJlee, which funny enough, this channel has had 3 different iterations. First, it was going to be a stream highlights channel for my streams of games that wouldn't fit the main channel. Then it became a shorts channel, but since YouTube doesn't really put the thumbnails, it honestly kind of looked ugly and I didn't really like it. Now, it's basically going to be my place for my passions that aren't in the first-person shooter / Halo and everything else genre. For example, I've put 2 videos up on that channel. One has done relatively well. The other one's kind of a passion project, but I covered the situation going on with Sonic Origins and the problems with it and what I thought about it. And it's actually done pretty good from what I can see for a channel that only has 62 subscribers. But when things like this happen, we're gonna cover it over there. And I hope you guys will join me over there and kind of see the other things I'm passionate about besides shooting games. But beyond that, there's also social media, which I've kind of taken a back seat on as of recent, as I haven't really enjoyed being on Twitter. Twitter was kind of something that I forced myself to do, and over the past year has brought me a lot of controversy and a lot of annoyance, to the point that I didn't really use Twitter that much anymore after a few months at the beginning of this year. Then when it came to other social medias, I've been using a lot more, like TikTok. Yeah, I'm surprised to hear me say those words too. TikTok is a social media that I actually use regularly, and I post stream highlights, clips, and other funny things that I'm doing on a regular basis. So if you want to see those kind of things, I would recommend checking out TikTok and Instagram Reels. Yes, I'm also going to be using Instagram Reels because there's a lot of people that don't like TikTok, and I totally understand. A lot of people don't trust it. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like Instagram Reels or trust Instagram, but hey, it's an option, right? But I wanted to basically update this as a way to say that we are trying to learn, and I'm trying to improve upon the things that I know need to be changed, not just for myself, but for my community, because people support me, and I'm extremely grateful for that. but at the same time, I don't want people to feel like I only cover one game and that they have to watch and put themselves into a slump to support me. I want to give highlights to other games that maybe I'm passionate about, maybe that I have had interest in, but don't seem to get the attention that they deserve, like Turbo Overkill. Again, a game that is extremely fun, and hopefully you guys will enjoy just as much. Again, at the end of the day, I'm looking for your feedback. I'm looking for your criticism, and I want to respond to everyone. Whether it's the harshest criticism possible, go ahead, leave it down in the comment section down below, or something you want to see me cover here on the channel ASAP. Let me know, because right now I'm open to anything, and your guys' feedback does matter. I hope that this does help and does kind of open the conversation. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like on it, share it around with your friends. Hell, if people have heard of my name, whether in a good way or a bad way, share this around to your friends. Let them know that, hey, this guy is trying to change and wants to focus on the FPS genre. Let them know. Let them know about GamerJlee. Hell, maybe they don't like FPS games. Maybe they want to see other stuff and kind of like see me more as a personality. But at the end of the day, that's what matters. Thank you guys so much for your support. And as always, GamerJlee signing out.